All right, boys. The top 5 my personal picks in a season. Top 5 picks in a season. Top 5 billies and top 5 range for me that I believe are gonna go well for the upcoming season. Does not matter if they get nerfed or buffed. I believe those will be good throughout the whole season, unless obviously they magically get mega nerfed. Obviously, I cannot predict the future, but they have always been consistent, you know. So I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 picks. If I were you, those are the classes that I'll personally pick. Actually, I'll just make like one top 5 pick. You know, I'm not gonna make top 5 melee, top 5 range. I'm gonna make like top 5 pickup. Okay. So let's begin. First thing first, if I were you guys and I was planning to play Mythic Plus in next season, and I was wondering what should I play. Now, if you disregard all the tier lists, I believe in my mind there is only one range spec that has consistently performed well throughout the seasons historically, and that's why if I were you and I was looking to play ranged, my bet would be on Mage. Now, whether Mage is gonna be Frost, Arcane, or Fire, that does not really matter. I am putting my whole bet here on Mage if I were playing range for Mythic Plus, and I'll tell you why. Mage historically has been always the better performing range classes, and there's been a few seasons where they were not as good, but overall they've always been at least decent. Decent is the bare minimum. Many seasons they were amazing, and I think season 3 will be no exception. I still believe that either of those 3 specs will make it one way or another to the meta. Now, whether they're going to be present in the meta all the time or not, that is entirely a different question. But I do believe one of those 3 will be placed in the meta eventually, or if not eventually, then at least at some point might try to break into the meta. So if I were you, and if I was looking for a ranged pickup in Mythic Plus, I would consider first the Mage. Now, if I gotta narrow down to the specs, I'm gonna bet on Arcane or Fire more than Frost, but that's my personal opinion. That's my personal bias towards them. Alright, chat. Mage is the first one. Second in line, in my opinion, the second spec to be considered playing for the upcoming season is going to be DH. Now, no matter if DH gets to be nerfed or not, I still believe even if they get nerfed, the most nerfed version of the spec is gonna be likely within an A+ A tier. So even if this gets nerfed to the ground, it's still based on the most recent rework. It's gonna be minimum at A tier. So again, keep in mind that the Havoc got nerfed twice in a row. Twice. Now, even after the 2 nerfs, there's 2 S tier. What does that tell us? Meaning the spec is actually very, very good. So if I were you, I would still bank on Havoc being good even after the 3rd nerf. So yes, it might not be S tier, but it's most definitely between A+ and A tier. Again, I cannot predict the future. I cannot say for certain, but at least in my mind, I feel like Havoc will be within the A+ to A tier, even if it gets to be nerfed. Unless it's like some kind of a severe nerf that will kill the spec, which I don't think we've ever seen so far. A nerf that kills the spec, you know. So second place, I'm gonna pick DH. Third place, the spec that I would recommend people to play Mythic Plus, obviously Rogue. Like, I don't think anybody's you know, hesitant about this one. I think Rogue, whether it's gonna be Outlaw, Assassination, or Sub Rogue, I still believe he will be doing fantastic in the upcoming season. Whether you're playing low keys, high keys, mid keys, don't really matter. Rogue is solid everywhere. That's why I believe you will be one of the best performing melee specs, if not the best melee spec given the situation, depending on further tuning, how well it's gonna bounce around, you know, DH. If DH doesn't get changed, then I'll go on like a DH, for example. But if DH gets to be changed, then I will go for Rogue next in line. So Rogue overall all around pretty solid. I'm gonna choose to play Outlaw as the Rogue more than Sub Rogue, but that's pretty much on me, you know. That's my personal preference. Also, because Iron Wire Silence is very powerful, can help you a lot with mob controlling, but also because it does good damage. So I would say Rogue all the way, and it's likely to get mandatory if DH gets to be nerfed to the ground. That's why it's always good to have an alternative versions of why 1 million must be present all the time, just because of good mob control and good damage. Alright, what is the next pack that I recommend to people to play going forward? Now, this might be a very wild card, but I would say Druids. Druids is the next pick that I think are going to perform well in the upcoming season. Now, whether it's going to be Feather or Enhanced, it does not really matter. I'm going to put Balance Druid more here than Feather. Even in Balance, it gets to be nerfed, you have an alternative, which is Feather Druid. Now, unlike Balance, Feather, in my opinion, slightly behind Balance in terms of performance, but on the lower to mid-level keys, they are both pretty much equal. So, again, if you're looking to push high keys, Boomy is definitely a very solid choice, especially given the fact that you have your Mark the Wild, and also you have a CR, very important, and a very good mob control with your AoE Silence Beam, AoE Roar as well. So, again, if given a full pre-made, Boomy is absolutely insane. Now, on the lower to mid-level keys, Petko might be an applicable choice, especially given the performance of both. Could come close together, but on a high keys, I'm choosing Balance all the way. And last pick, and that could be a very wild card pick. And now people are gonna say, lol, Omega W. But I'm gonna bet on Retribution Paladin, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, Red Paladin, in my opinion, is the only dark horse that people might laugh about. And although Enhance is better than Retribution Paladin, the thing I'm thinking right now is how strong the Legendary could be. The Legendary could change things, change the tide completely different, you know. So, for example, there's a lot of things that I don't like about Red, but if that Legendary is good enough, it could cover the spots that they're weak at. Well, we already know the end pretty much deliverance for Enhance. Enhance is better than Red, straight up. However, that is given the fact that we don't know how good the Lego is gonna be. If Lego is absolutely cracked, like the previous two legendaries, for example, if I remember, Evoker Legendary, super OP. Last expansion we had a Sylvanas Bow, super OP as well. And if that follows the pattern and Red gets the Legendary, I mean, it could mean that Red can become higher placed than they are right now. Because, keep in mind, you have the package to be more than where you are. You have immunity, strong defensives, overall you are good. So that's my recommendation. As a fifth and final horse, the dark horse of the whole, I guess, the recommendation, if you are looking to play it, Red is one of the sleeper specs that I believe it might or might not be, you know, placing higher. It depends on the Legendary, it depends on a lot of stuff. But I would still choose Red just because of the spice that I don't even know what's happening. So yeah, top 5 specs Mythic Plus, my personal recommendation. Mage, DH, Rogue, Druid, especially Balance, and last, Dark Horse, Retribution Paladin. That's it, boys. Again, this is my personal recommendation. This is not something that you know, it's like definitive answer. Follow what I said. That's what I think about. That's what I would personally play myself. That's why I'm telling you what I'll play. I will play either of those 5 if I want to be safe for the next season, because those are safe picks, in my opinion. Well, there's nothing like a safe pick, quote unquote, but you know, safer than others. I've already covered the healers. I think Disc and Holy Paladin is gonna be good. Honorable. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, honorable mention. Honorable mention. Okay, Oak Evoker. Oak Evoker is the most busted spec in a game. That's why I didn't want to mention it, because everybody is saying yes, play Oak Evoker. Sure, Augmentation Evoker is definitely very strong. Yes, it will make you do good DPS. Yes, it will make you more tanky. Yes, it's going to be mandatory for high keys. Yes, people will need it, but it's boring as fuck. Everybody plays it, and I personally want to see more diversity in a game. I don't want to see like people playing Oak all the time. I want to see some diversity. I want to see some different stuff, you know? Like, imagine all of us playing Oak Invoker. It kind of fucking shit sucks, you know? I want to see different stuff. Okay, so for the people asking me what am I going to main, I will play Elemental. Ele main, and I'll have likely Augmentation as an ult. I'm going to have, if I feel like it, DH, and then I'll have with Retribution Paladin or a Mage together. But I'll still play Ele at the beginning.